Hello, I'm Nathan Etherington, the Program and Community Coordinator here at the Brantford Historical Society. Welcome back to Season 2 of Archival Discoveries, where we find documents in the museum and open them to discover and learn something new about Brantford's history. On today's episode, we're going to look into one of our favorite locations, the Kerby Hotel. So inside of this document box, we have two envelopes about the Kerby Hotel, or Hotel Kerby as it's sometimes called. So let's explore these in greater detail. Okay, here we see some cards of some early events in Brantford. The top one is before the Kerby Hotel. It's called Young's Hotel, and it's in 1852. But this one here specifically in the center invites the same person who was at the other ball to attend the opening of the Kerby House in the town of Brantford on the evening of Friday, December the 15th, 1854. So that's when it opens, and then the one below that here, that's in rough shape, is titled Hard Times Parties, and it's from the following year. And it's also at the Kerby Hall. So the Kerby Hall also had their menus in their dining room. So this is one of their latest kind of menu covers. So the menu would be placed inside of that. Here we see totally appropriate, a holiday menu, having just come out of Christmas. This one actually still does have the Christmas menu in it. We don't know what year this is, but we can see a roast beef dinner costing $4.50. So pretty cheap, including a cold plate for $2.50. And then your coffee and tea being included with your meal. So another one of a great Christmas parties had at the Kerby House. Community groups would also rent out the Kerby Hall. So here we see a program from the Ladies' Night at the Kiwanis Club at the Kerby House in 1939. And we can kind of get a sample of what would have happened at that meeting. We see their menu for their food that they would have had, and then a program with some speeches, some guests, a soloist, some prizes, and a speaker. And then we also see a bunch of the local businesses contributing prizes to the Kiwanis event. We also have a lot of banquets that happened at the Kerby Hall. So this one, February 19th, 1943, they had a banquet because the county of Brant was free of all its capital debt. Something maybe that we can't say nowadays. But included in there, they have a list of the wardens all the way up to that point. And we see a lot of names there that we know and recognize. And in the middle, we have the menu, which looks strikingly similar to the menu from the Kiwanis ladies, and a very similar kind of layout to their program. When it says the king, it means they sing "God Save the King" at that time. And then, of course, dignitaries are always there, like the mayor of the city of Brantford. As well, we have the chief from Six Nations attending as well. To mark the centennial, they also had a Fathers of Confederation dinner, big event at the Kerby Hotel. And you can see the reception started at 6:30 with dinner at 8, so quite a long reception. And $5 a person, which seems cheap now, but probably back then was a bit more on the upper scale side of things. So here's the program from the night. We see the agenda. We have a lot of the people included who were involved, including Senator Ross Macdonald giving the toast to the Queen. And then in the middle, we'll probably see the menu, which is quite extensive and laid out. A lot included at this feast. So because the Kerby Hotel was so big, it also had the Kerby Hall, and this could be rented out by things in the community, including it would host theatrical performances. So here we have a rather somber entitled one called He Hanged His Son by Arthur J. Kelly. So we have a bunch of different examples of these programs from the Kerby Hotel. You see, these are kind of in the end days of the Kerbys in the 1960s. And a really Joe Sholapalka, another comedy written by him. I don't know who this individual is. Then we have Wait for Me, another comedy in 1969 produced by him. And then oddly enough, the Britain Historical Society, put on an Indigenous themed performance, it seems, at the Kerby Hall in 1968. Okay, so moving into the second envelope, we see some things that are similar, but we have some new things, including this little newspaper clipping here talking about James Kerby, who was the founder of the Kerby House in 1854. We have another kind of Christmas advertisement here with season's greetings from the Kerby, with some another Christmas menu. This one's much later than that other one that we saw. We also have another just kind of everyday menu here from the Kerby. You can see this one's probably 1950s. Half a grapefruit for 25 cents for breakfast. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Bacon and eggs for $1. I'd go for that today. Then we have some other menus here. So this is the menu from the unveiling of the Bell Memorial. So after they unveiled the memorial with Alexander Graham Bell there, they went to the Kerby for nothing else than lunch and some more speeches and toasts to Mr. Bell. And you can see the menu that day had everything themed with the telephone. So they have invention soup, destiny whitefish, an indispensable salad. But the switchboard ice cream is kind of my favorite there. Then we have another menu. Now this one's really old because it's printed on like linen or cloth, and this is at the Kerby House, attending with Albert Edward, the Prince of Wales. So this is the first visit to the town, given September 14th, 1860, by the inhabitants of Brantford. So again, here we have quite a lengthy meal for that day. Next, we'll move on into some kind of more modern advertisements that they have. So here's like a postcard that they had advertising the Kerby with the AAA on the back. So it's mentioning Brantford that time as a population of 35,000, the same as this little advertisement or booklet does here. So it kind of has like an advertisement to stay at the Kerby, gives you the location, as well as some of the historical points of interest in the downtown. The museum didn't make it onto that for some reason. But also, if you were there at the Kerby, you'd probably want a drink. So you can have your drink on your Kerby Hotel paper coaster there as well. So we learned quite a bit today about the Hotel Kerby. We saw the opening of the Hotel Kerby in December of 1854 and some balls that were held there. We then move forward to when Alexander Graham Bell had invented the telephone, and they had the unveiling of the Bell Memorial, and after that they had a dinner or reception at the Kerby Hotel. We then moved on through the 50s and saw some of the advertisements trying to get people to stay at the hotel. We saw the Fathers of Confederation dinner in 1967, and some plays as well that were hosted there in the late 60s. So join us next week for our episode of Archival Discoveries when we look into the IODE, or Imperial Order of Daughters of the Empire.